The earth is so still and heavy here. It's, all this water in the air, and then everything is so still. The wind is not moving the leaves at all. The clouds, just a few birds around.
Oh, beautiful. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's very still.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing moving at all.
Every once in a while, a bird.
Mm.
The latest in the yard is the deer have been eating things. Melissa likes to plant vegetables and bushes and stuff, and the deer have been coming and eating them. And yesterday, Tater chased a deer away into the forest, went all the way into the forest. And Tater's like this tall, and the deer is like, but the deer was afraid of Tater, so he took off.
So he was it the one that had no horns?
No, there was no horns, so it must have been a doe. Yeah,
Okay.
we have lots of them
So
here.
I had that. I had those ones. They fight back. The one they would fight back if they're being bothered. Yeah, the things are just really happening. There is already no one doing anything. No. A dog chasing the deer is just a dog chasing the deer. There are, but there is no real dog or real deer. It's just this unknowable, indescribable, thingless thing, if I should say, expressing as a dog and a deer. And the movement itself is already no movement. They may seem to be moving, but they're never really moving, and they're never really there. It's just this, which is vast, appearing dense. There is always that stillness, even in the midst of the apparent movement. The stillness is there. expressing as a movement, but there's no real movement. And people in the busy area, in the city, they may seem as if they are going somewhere, but they're never really going anywhere. It's just this expressing as that, or appearing to dance. Cars, birds flying, tornado, clouds, the wind, the rain. There is no separation. It's just this, which is not doing anything, expressing as everything. So there's nothing really wrong or right. There's just what seems to be happening. And what seems to be happening isn't happening to anybody, for anybody. It's just what's happening. Yet in the story, it may seem as if there's a cause. Everything's coming from somewhere. But that's just a story, that's just a dream. There's really nothing here that comes from somewhere, because there's no somewhere. There's just this. And there's nowhere to get to. There's no purpose. There's no reason for anything. Reasons, purpose may be seen as just a story. The apparent somebody may assume that, oh, this is because, no, so and so did this and that. So that is why this is happening. So that's just a story. That's just a dream. But there is nobody who's actually dreaming. It's just this, which is vast, which is wholeness, which is already everything, expressing as that. Yet it may seem to fall away. The story may seem to collapse, and it may be a recognition as well that there wasn't anyone doing anything, saying anything, living life, going somewhere. So it's just already this, which isn't going anywhere, which isn't really moving. It's just quiet, still, causeless. It has no intention. It's not trying to fix anything. It's not expecting anything to happen. It has no future, no past, no present. It just is. It doesn't have any gender. Its gender, future, past, present is appearing in it already. So they're just appearances here. But this is not an appearance. They're just apparent things. But this as it is not a thing. It can never really point it to. It can never really be spoken or have any description. It can never be grasped. The one who seems to be looking for it is already not there as separate from it. It's just already it, expressing as somebody looking for it. In a sense that there is no separation already. So the apparent separate self can never really find this, because this hides as everything, including that which seems to be an apparent separate self. It hides as even that which seems to be looking for it. So there's never really any separation. The one looking for it is already it. So there's no one looking for it. The seeker is already everything. So there's no seeker. There's just this. Seeking happens. Nobody's doing it. They just think of thoughts. Thinking happens. Nobody's doing thinking. Even the think of thoughts is just another thinking happening. So nobody's doing thinking. There's no thinker doing thinking already. So everything as it is already empty. It has no doer. So here it is seen as well that the story itself is okay. It's not wrong or right. It's just a story. So talking about it doesn't matter. Yet it may seem to matter in the dream when there is a, or when this vastness expressing as somebody who's separate from it, trying to know this or trying to know it. Yet there's never really anything to know because this is unknowable. This doesn't know anything. The know and knowing is just a story. It's just already that which is unknown, expressing as a knower. But there's no real knower who knows anything because there are no things. There's nothing to hold on to. So what seems to be the separate self lives in the realm of the objects. So it wants to know things because it assumes that they are real things, they are objects, but they are not real things. They are not things. Yeah. Everything is already nothing. They're just labels. So things are not as they seem to be. It may seem as if they are trees. There is a sky, the ground, the house, but those are just labels. They are no real trees, no real houses. It's just this expressing as that. And what is this? This is nothing being everything. So nothing is really unknowable. It can never be known because there's nobody to know anything. Because everything is nothing. So there's already no seeker to fall away. There's already no one who's on the journey. There's already no one who's getting closer. There's already no one who has glimpses. There's just this. And no one knows this. Even what seems to be somebody listening is already just this. There's already no separate somebody who's actually listening to this. Nobody's watching this video. Nobody is talking to anybody. Everything is empty. Everything is already nothing. Everything is already going nowhere. And there's no one going anywhere already. There's just this. This, as it is not a man or a woman. And there's nobody to know this. This is already unknowable. The separate self who seems to be trying to know it is already not there. So it can never really get anywhere because there's never really nowhere to get to. There's nowhere to get to. There's really nothing to achieve. And there's no achiever already. There's just this. This is journeyless. This is effortless. This has no steps. This has no distance. This has no distance to cover. And there's nobody to cover distance. This is it. It's already the case. There's nothing to fix. There's no heart that is closed already that needs to open. There's no one to get this. There's no one to find this because there's only this. This is already timeless. This is already empty. This is already full. There is just this. And who is really looking for this? Who is trying to find this? Well, I would say that which is trying to find this, that which seems to be looking for this, is already this. So there is nothing looking for this. There's nothing trying to find this. The seeker has never found anything. The seeker will never find anything because there's no seeker. There can be a compulsive thinking happening, saying, oh, but no, this is not my experience. This is not seen here. There's just a compulsive thinking happening. That as it is not being done by somebody. It's just what appears in this as this. And it can be seen from that space which is not doing anything. The mind chattering may be seen happening. Oh, yesterday I went to the shop. Today I'll be going back to the very same shop. It's just mind chattering. It's never really anything special. Doesn't mean anything. It's going nowhere. that may as well may seem to play out, until it exhausts itself, just like a bird when it's chipping, chip, 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 chip. It doesn't chip non-stop. It's just chips, chips, chips until it fades away. It exhausts itself and flies away. So everything comes and goes. Yet this doesn't come and go. It's already here. It doesn't move. It's not going anywhere. Yet what seems to be something going somewhere is already this expressing as that. So there's no real separation. Nothing is really separated from anything. Everything is this. Undivided. Causeless.
Waving to the neighbors.
Well,
Down the street, there's a Mexican family that came from Los Angeles just maybe a year before we did. You know, they came from a bad neighborhood, a really bad neighborhood. We got a huge house and a nice fence. Very different way of life.
mm,
So you can see the seeing. They're seeing, and you can rest in seeing the seeing. That's there, right? That is there. What you're seeing is just this. That's part of this. Is the seeing any different than this?
the seeing, the seeing is just the seeing, but the you part is already not there. Yeah, the you part is just a story, but the seeing itself it's just seeing. It's not a thing. It's not a.
In my
It's not an
experience, is the
object.
seeing, is the feeling, is the thinking. How's that not me? It's just what happens. I'm just what happens, right? It might not be what I think of myself as.
Yeah. Uh, the you that seems to be the body, or that identifies as the body, is already not there as separate. It's just a thought. It's just as a thought construct, which is already this. Something saying, I'm me, I'm this body. It's just a thought. It's not something that can be grasped, can be seen. The body itself, as it is innocent. It's just there. But the one who claims to be the body is already not there. As separate from anything, as it may appear in the story or in the dream, that I'm just sitting by myself. There's no one near me. That's a that's a dream. It's a dream. That's as it is not separate from this. It's just this which is already whole and complete, as pressing as that. And that's not to say that is wrong or right. It's just what seems to be happening. And it's not happening to anybody. Even when it seems it's happening to somebody, that's just what's happening. It's not wrong or right. Yes, there can be that yearning to find this. But there is already no finder. There's already nobody longing for this. It's just this already. There's no one separate from this already. There's no separation. Because the individual, that somebody can never really be found because it's already not there. There can be an assumption that something is there, I'm here. It's just an assumption. That's an imagination, you can say.
So what makes the space that isn't Nkosi different than the space that isn't Donald Trump?
There's no difference. There's the same space. They can be the stories may seem to be different. The story may seem to say, oh, I'm in the United States as Donald Trump. It's just a story. Or I'm Gosi, I'm South Africa. That's just a story. But there's just the same space
But the
as
experience,
pressing. Yeah,
there's a very different level
experiences.
of experience going on.
Yes.
It's just what's happening.
That space is this space. It's just one. There's no separation. And there's no distance. Distance is imagined. The distance is in the mind. Yet there's no real mind. You know, everything is imagined. Distance has to do with being somebody who separates. If there is an assumption that there is a you there, and then it will seem as if there are others, then distance to cover. Order for that one to meet this one has to travel by flights.
But I was
Take a
more
flight.
talking about the quality of the seeing. Why is the quality of seeing different here than in Donald Trump? even if it is.
Yeah, I would say it may seem to be different, but it's never, it's just a story. It's never really different. In the dream, it may seem to be different. The experience is, but this is not an experience. It's not something that can be grasped, can be seen, can be held in view, can be talked about.
So if this were true, the only thing that would have to happen for experience like it's happening over here, it's happened over there, is to change the story.
Yeah, the whole thing is just a story. It's just a story. Something happening is just a story. There's never really anything happening. Because there are no things already. There are no things. So there's nothing to happen. And there is no experiencer. When there is that sense of being separate from everything, it may seem as if there are real things and real life. Life is happening to me. It's my life. It's me and my life. That as it is already not true. It's just an expression of this. It's just this, which is not a thing expressing as a me who has a life. It's a dream. So it's just like when you're dreaming at night, getting married to a certain woman, buying your first house, first car, moving to live in a certain location, having children, a job, and then when we are driving, maybe to a hotel, on the vacation, and the car loses control and it sits off the cliff down, and then you wake up. But during that process, that experience itself, it seems as if it's really happening to you. You know? But when you wake up, it was just a dream. And then you may end up forgetting even the dream. So same as this one, this is a dream. Somebody who has a life, who's living life, who lives in a certain location, that's just a dream. But there's no one here to wake up. There can be a recognition that it's just a dream. And then life can be enjoyed when there is a recognition that there is already no one who's enjoying life. It can be enjoyed. There's nothing to hold on to.
That's the
It can
difference.
be seen as just a play.
That's the difference.
Sorry?
That's the difference. That is the difference.
Yeah.
Between you and Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, in the story, it may seem as there's a difference. But when it is seen clearly, there's just no one anyway.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
Sorry?
I said the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
That's you. You're the meek. Meek is the wrong word, but that's how it got
Yeah.
translated.
Yeah, anything may arise, anything may arise, but nothing matters to this because everything is this. It's beautiful. It's okay. It's okay to say whatever that seems to be coming up, and it's beautiful. It's not wrong or right. It's just already this expressing. Even even when it seems as if there's somebody who's trying to help somebody, that's okay too. Even what seems to be a non-duality police, let's watch every word that is being spoken.
It's okay too. The non-duality police.
Oh, he's talking to somebody. That's beautiful. That's beautiful too. It's just an expression of this. That beautiful simulation. Very nice. Stillness.
The clouds have got such they're so different.
Yeah,
You know,
it
there's a
is.
dark, thin streak over here that looks like it might rain, and then in the ground, in the background, there's this golden slash blue thing. And then there's just blue for most of it, but then there's this other front coming in here, just wisps occasionally. So many different patterns, just all going about their own things, but just being one thing.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like a beautiful drawing, beautiful um, picture or photo to hang on the wall. Hang on the wall. It's very nice. Can see. Have you ever taken any photo?
Thousands. Every morning I go out in the take to meditate and I go, God, it's beautiful out here. I should take a picture. Sometimes I take a bunch of pictures. Then I just go out there the next day. God, it's beautiful. There's no need to take pictures. It's just all beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like there's ever going to be a time it's like, oh, it's not beautiful anymore. What did it look like?
Yeah. You know, in a way, everything is always new. It's like never gets old. Everything is always new. There is that um fascination with anything, you know. The tree is beautiful, the sky, the air. You know. That's why I always say it's beautiful, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Is it time? Yes, it's time. Thank you, Nkosi. I'll talk to you.
Always welcome.
Take care. I'll get this up to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd appreciate it.